Right, so in today's video, just wanted to give you another update as to how the different lawns are looking. As you can tell, this is the one we cut last Tuesday in the previous video on this lawn, and it's Saturday at time of recording. It's only been a few days. You can see the grass has grown so much again since. I mean, we still have the power issue, still quite a bit of it knocking about. So what we are going to do is we're going to take the tips off this today. It's going to take a lot of these seed heads off. I could get on and pull all the weed plants out by hand, and I might have a go at just taking a few of them out potentially, but we'll see how we get on. When it's sunny like this, you can't really see the power that much, to be honest. It's not too unsightly. However, when the sun's in the shade, the power stands out like a sore thumb because it's predominantly ryegrass in this space. Ryegrass is quite dark and the power is a really light grass plant, so it does not stand out. But we're going to give this cut in a moment. Let's have a look at the grass verge as well before we do. And if I do say so myself, I think this space is looking absolutely superb. Now, I do just want to say it's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. You can see there's a dandelion over there, there's, well, a couple to be honest, there's a few others knocking about as well. And if you were to get close to the lawn, I mean, there's a weed there, there's a weed there, there's a little bit of power there, there's a weed there. There are quite a few weeds, but because the grass is quite thick and quite lush and pretty tall, it seems to mask a lot of the problems really. And with this just being a grass verge at the front, I have said in a few other videos, I'm after this being like the perfect lawn. For me, what this lawn is now is perfect for what I want it to be. It's not a golf green, you know, it's not a lawn that I'd want necessarily in the back of the garden, because I wouldn't want the amount of weeds that are necessarily, you know, in this space now. But it's not too bad, and it had a cut on Monday, I think, and the entire space is quite long again. So we're going to get on with the Bosch. I'm going to have it on the 4th highest setting, and the reason why I'm keeping it a little bit longer is just so it's a little bit more resilient when we have sort of the drier temperatures in the next few weeks. I mean, it's quite warm this weekend, but next week it does give it, or this week at time of posting, it does give the temperatures to drop a little bit. But by the back end of May and getting into June, if we do start getting those warmer temperatures, keeping it a little bit longer just makes the plant just a little bit more resilient. Like, you see this lawn is striping up really well at the moment, and you know, there's a few reasons behind it. Like I said, I'm keeping the lawn a little bit longer just so it's a little bit more drought tolerant, and longer grass is always going to give you a more defined stripe because you're laying those grass plants down, so it's always going to stand out a little bit more. But I've noticed as well, there's a slight almost silveriness to the grass. There's like this sort of like almost like a blue hue in a way. It's like a grey sort of feeling coming from it, or appearance should I say, and that's always a sign that, you know, the grass is under a little bit of stress. And the main reason will be is because for the past week we've had nothing but, you know, blazing hot temperatures, you know, for the UK, and this lawn, obviously because it's on a slope, it drains really well, so it's had less water than it's probably used to, hence why the stripe's probably looking a little bit more defined as well, because when the grass is a little bit more stressed, it's less likely to bounce straight back up. If your grass is bouncing straight back up, then you've obviously got quite a much more healthier plant, essentially, because it's got the right amount of sort of moisture in the soil. However, like I said, the week coming now, it's got a little bit of rain coming, so that's going to help this lawn almost hydrate itself. And keeping it a little bit longer just means that I don't really need to come out and do really much to this lawn. I can't exactly take credit for how it's looking at the moment. It's kind of in a way, because I'm the one who's done it, but it's been more nature than me. All I've done is that if you put a little bit of seed down, a little bit of compost, put one application of fertiliser down, and this is the result. In terms of the neighbour's lawn, it's not looking too bad, to be honest. I mean, it's still riddled full of weeds, but lots of that new growth has come through from when we did the overseeding. We fertilised it not too long ago. That started to kick in. It was quite long up until Thursday evening. Neighbours come out to give it a cut, and to be honest, I think it looks, for what it is, pretty decent, and for the state that it was in, you know, a few months back, it's definitely an improvement. Now obviously we've got ideas of what we could potentially do with the space moving forward. We have just done a couple of turf projects, one in their garden, one in my garden, so that might be an option moving forward, even getting on with a different type of seed. But for now we're going to manage and maintain it as is, so it's looking okay. You can tell or you can see, should I say, this little Stonehenge thing has gone, so we're going to be sorting this out at some point over this weekend, quite possibly, or next weekend. And even this space down at the front, we were going to do something with this over Easter. However, the thought is not to, make it into a lawn. Potentially it might become something else. We have an idea of what we could possibly do in this space. I mean, it still might become a lawn, but there's something else in the pipeline that we might have. And if anyone does have any suggestions, let me know, because at the moment it is basically a dandelion field. And there's mine down there, the little stripes that we just cut. But yeah, any suggestions in the comments would be great. But like I said, I've got a couple of ideas, nothing that's set in stone yet though. And again, that leads us back to this space over here, and I'm just really happy with how this is looking at the moment, to be honest. It's a nice dark green colour. It's quite tightly packed together, but as long as we come on and maintain it and manage it, it's not going to be too much of an issue. Like I've already said, it is ryegrass. It looks aesthetically pleasing. We get some nice stripes in it as well, just because we're leaving a little bit more length on the lawn. Now, the veg at the front, that's not a lawn there and necessarily water. I've tried to in the past. Hose doesn't reach to the other end, even if I put a sprinkler on the end of it. So we just leave that and let nature do its thing with it almost. If it goes dormant over the summer, so be it. No one's going to die, and the grass won't either because it's dormant. But this one is a space that we will water if it becomes a little bit stressed over the summer, because ryegrass is quite a demanding plant. It requires a lot of feeding, it requires a lot of watering. But yeah, let's get on. In fact, what I'll do, I'll get the strimmer first. This edge looks an absolute mess. We'll trim that and we'll stripe up the rest. But before I do, just one thing to sort of promote. I've got an Instagram account now. I've mentioned it in a few videos recently. If you would like to head over and check it out and follow along on there, I'd be appreciative of it. You don't have to, but if you would like to, you can have a little gander. I'm a few videos ahead on this channel. I've got a few that are coming out over the next couple of weeks, things that are already done and completed that you are going to be seeing shortly. So those videos do need editing, but I've got some pictures up on my Instagram at the moment, sort of showing you the progress of how things look so far. So if you want a bit of a sneak peek as to what to expect on this channel, head over there and you'll see firsthand what I'm on about. Genius Louise, I'm telling you now, people hate this bush. Well, they either love it or they hate it, but it's just attacked my legs with all its spiky branches that are sticking out, which probably just destroyed my stripes, but yeah, it doesn't matter. Again with this one, something similar to the grass veg, that little bit of sort of like discoloration on the leaf blades, and again it's most likely due just to that lack of water. And I can proclaim now, it's like, wow, look how good my lawn is, because I've done X, Y and Z to it, but I haven't really. All I've done is put a bit of seed on, because it needs it to thicken up, because like I said, it's mostly ryegrass. It's not a plant that's prunable, it's not going to multiply the more you cut it. And I've got on with fertiliser just before it rained, so timing that well gives you results like this. And as well, it's getting the right plants in the right soil, and for whatever reason this soil just seems to drain really well. The ryegrass thrives here. The little bits of fescue that I'm knocking about, that's knitting the lawn together, thrive here too. I can show you sort of what that discoloration kind of looks like more on the other side. Tidy these edges up as well, just so it didn't look like the grass wasn't owned by anyone. I'm not sure how well you can sort of see it. Let me just take it off this tripod. You might not be able to pick it up much on camera, but it is this almost like a bluish kind of hue. Nothing major, it's not going to die. So if you have been on this channel for the past few weeks, you'll know that around about 3 weeks ago we seeded this lawn from scratch. It's a bent fescue lawn, and we got on last week with an application of feed, so it was the actual true grass by the Lawn Association. And at that point, the seed had only germinated 1 day prior. And a few people did say in the comments of that previous video, too early, too soon, and that they would have waited, and then that I needed to have patience. You've got to remember, with a lawn that's this young, you need to give it as much of a boost as you possibly can. That new plant needs something to feed off of and to thrive off of, more than just what's currently in the soil, because you want that plant to get as big and as strong as you possibly can in the shortest space possible. I would be feeding it today if I had more true grass today. Some is on the way, it's in the post somewhere at the moment as we speak. So as soon as that arrives, I'm going to get on with another feed to really, help promote that growth, to start thickening it up. I'll just give you a bit of a closer look as to how it's looking. Only 3 weeks on from the actual seed, and I think 3 weeks progress is absolutely amazing. I come over here, it's always easier on this side to sort of say, that looks bare by the way, but it's not. You can see all the plants there, it's just not as thick as some of the other spaces. Nature of the beast sometimes. But even this little patch here, if we just get through the fence, get my hand in, how many plants are there? Some people might say, it's going to cause disease. It won't, it'll be fine. If it does in the future, we thin it out, no one's going to stress. We've got the washing out as well. Always got to show that on the Novice Gardener channel, haven't we? That's what makes us a novice, I guess. It's not a prize garden. But yeah, it's looking really, really nice at the moment. And I'm not going to speak about this. You'll see that in a future video in the next few weeks. Head over to Instagram if you want to see a few pictures of that. So thanks for watching today's video. If you'd like to follow along with the rest of the lawn renovations or any of the lawn updates or garden renovation stuff we're going to be doing over the next few weeks, next few months, then stick around on this channel, subscribe, check out the back catalogue to see how we got from where we were a few months ago to where we are now, in the stage where it's probably only a few weeks away, honestly, from its first cut. You'll be able to see all that on my channel. So yeah, subscribe if you want to see more, like it if you did enjoy the video, and finally, thanks for watching.